Well, today's Saturday and it's the 25th of March 2023 and we're down in Santa Ponsa. We needed to go and do some shopping, so I need to bought some flowers already, and we're going to nip into Majorca to get a few things later on. But before we do that, we're just going to have a little walk down to the front in Santa Ponsa, so perhaps you'll see some different parts if you do come here on holiday to Santa Ponsa. So right in front of us, we've got Specsavers, so
that's where I go.
Anita goes there for her glasses. I actually go to a Specsavers in England, in Yeovil, but it's the same group. It's just that it's I guess it's a franchise, but Anita does go there for her eye test. I've just continued to go to the one in Somerset. So we've come down, we've driven down here, and we're going to walk down now just towards the beach, and you can see a few things on the way, and most of the shops and things are on the other side. It's afternoon, it's a Saturday afternoon, it's 3 o'clock, so quite a few places will just be closed now. Quite a lot of businesses don't open on a Saturday afternoon. It's a pleasant walk down here, and the temperature is beginning to go up. On our terrace just before we left, it was 22 degrees in the shade, and Anita was getting a bit worried it was going to be too warm to have a walk. Anyway, she's got a parasol, so that'll keep the sun off. I've got my hat on. We're not going to have a long walk anyway, we're just going to walk down to the front
and back.
And of course, yes, we've got to walk all the way back. In the next few weeks though, the buds and leaves will start to appear on these trees, and there will be a little bit more shade here. See, there's quite a few more places across the road, shops. There's on this side as well. This is a panaderia, so if you want a cake or a pastry, coffee, that's one of the places you'll be able to go to. And here we've got the Pirate Village Hotel. I'm sure I've looked at it from this part. There we go. Been to?
We've eaten there before. We'll have a coffee there.
Yeah. So this is the Pirate Village, which isn't open yet, but just looks so spectacular, I think, from the outside. Must be a great place for families with young children. I think if you're adults on your own, you might find it a little bit noisy, but full of children. But I think really, I mean, they've done a really great job in setting it all up. I think it looks great. And that'll be opening up later on in the season. Lots of places are opening, and sort of as we get towards April and Easter, you'll find more and more open, and we're getting more and more visitors. We were here last weekend for St. Patrick's Day, and that was really busy. St. Patrick's Day is on the 17th, but they hold St. Patrick's Day celebrations, and they have a big parade, and that's held on a Sunday, so it doesn't disrupt normal life too much. So it's not actually very often on St. Patrick's Day, it's on the nearest Sunday, which may well be the 17th next year, I'm not sure. Map free is insurance. I see a lot of those around Mallorca. At the moment you can see there's blue lines on the floor here. They don't actually mean anything at this time, but come the beginning of April the covers will come off here, and the parking meter will mean you have to pay. So wherever there's a blue line in the Calvia area, so that's places like Palma, Magaluf, Santa Ponsa, Peguera, and any of the other places which have got these blue lines, you need to check to make sure whether you should pay. It's not 24 hours a day, at least not here in Santa Ponsa and the other Calvia areas. So there are some free hours. Overnight is free, and the afternoons are free, but you need to check just to make sure on the nearest meter to where you're parked. You don't want to be landing with a parking fine, even if you've got to rent a car. That's one of the issues that was holding up transfer of licenses, driving licenses, for people who'd come here and not exchange them. So people like myself who are residents here were given a period of time to make sure they changed their driving license. Quite a lot of people didn't do it, and it meant that they were not allowed to drive here as residents. It only applies to residents with their UK driving license. We've now done a deal with the UK, and so there's a period of time now when driving licenses can be exchanged. But that time will run out, and any new people will need to do a driving test. So if you're planning to come and live here, do be aware that you're going to be facing a driving test in order to drive here. It takes two parts. There's a theory, or three parts really. There's a medical you have to do, there's a theory test, and then there's a driving test. The medical test, you go to see a doctor who's assigned to these things, and they test your hearing, your sight, and they put you on a computer game to make sure you've got good reflexes and judgment, and they'll ask you a few questions as well. It's fairly straightforward, costs around about 50 euros. Then there's a theory test, which is a multiple choice test, and I think you can ask for that to be in English. So the questions are going to be about the Spanish highway code, not the English highway code. There are some differences, unfortunately, particularly concerning roundabouts, which drives me nutty. And then the driving test, and you've got to be able to show that you can drive and follow the rules. That's what you do.
Yes, I'm telling you how lovely this one is.
Another one to put on the list then. There's a bus. It's running on natural gas, and it takes you to Palma. It's one of these bendy buses. Only have we got natural gas buses, we've got hydrogen buses now actually running on the island. We've been here for the Taste of India. They do a menu of the day, $14.95. Can't be bad. Menu for two persons, $31.95. Now we're now down at the roundabout. Just have a quick walk around, shall we?
The watering hole opens on the 1st of April.
Oh yeah, that's Claire. You know. Here's the Plaza Santa Ponsa hotel, that's open. bus across the road there that's going to Portandratch. It's the number 122 bus. I'm getting to know the buses slowly, but they are really quite good here, especially now they're free for the residents. But even if you're not a resident, they're very cheap. The thing you need to remember is you tap on, tap off on these red and yellow buses. You can use your credit card and you can tap on and tap off. See how busy the restaurants are? Seen them before.
Nice to see the restaurants busy.
Yeah, we've just had lunch at home. Rita made a lovely quiche this morning, and so we had to sample it for lunch.
Quiche and salad.
And some salad. We walk up and around. Right, we've got a little route planned. I'll show you some of the shops that are open, and we'll go past the watering hole because they've been announcing over the last few days that they'll be opening up very, very soon. So it's this is the watering hole, and they've been getting the pool ready, and really another week or so for them and they'll be open.
Next week, yeah. First of April is next Saturday, is it?
Oh goodness.
Is it?
I think you're right. The Clos de Mar and the Chinese. As busy as the restaurants we've just been looking at. Chinese has a special menu for $15.95. Oh, tobacco's that's not open, that's good. And what used to be a restaurant is now a shop for all sorts of holiday type things. And just up the road there's more bars, there's more restaurants, including the Rhine, which is a place we used to go to quite often in the dim and distant past. But I thought it was up for sale, but I've seen a notice to say that it's now open again. We do actually go to another Rhine, which is in Majorca. Exactly the same sort of menu, so we still go there. Majorca being a place where we had the fair for all the ceramics a couple of weeks ago. We're just coming towards the beach now, and it's getting warmer and warmer by the step.
It is. We need to have a drink in the shade in a minute.
Looks like they've been to
Oh, look at the seaweed up
clean the
there.
beach a little bit. There's a mountain of seaweed,
Seaweed dunes.
which the little children are having great fun climbing on. And in the past they've actually taken that away, and I guess they've just left it to have the rain on it. And it gets used as fertilizer. And things have actually changed since since we were here last week for St. Patrick's Day. Very clearly the temperatures are going up, and all of the fences that were here to protect the beach from the wind blowing the sand away, the fences have gone. So I thought that was going to happen, but it's all happened this week. No sunbeds or umbrellas yet, but I've seen those yesterday. They started to put the umbrellas up in Magaluf, so the poles were all there yesterday. Probably by today they'll have started putting the parasol part on, and then they eventually bring out the beds. But I'm guessing that it's all working towards Easter, or at least maybe the beginning of April. There's quite a few people enjoying the sun and these wonderful temperatures that we've got here on the 25th of March. Just behind the beach, if you want somewhere to stroll in the shade, there's a lovely shaded area here.
Might be summer clothes weather soon.
I think so. I might have to get the shorts out there.
Still a bit breezy in the shade, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, as soon as you go into the shade, you do notice, don't you, the drop in the temperatures. Get into the sun and it really is quite warm. Slackliners over there. Hello.
Hello.
You know what's over there, right?
Oh, that was nice to meet Susan and Jim from Glasgow. They're having a great holiday here and they're getting about. They've been into Palma, Calamajor, they've been to Pagera. They like Pagera, so they're going to go back into Andrach.
It's their first time here as well.
So yeah, real big adventure for them.
From watching your videos.
You can see, I don't know if you can see the lines in between the trees. These are slack lines, they're like tight ropes that people walk on and do trapeze on and do all sorts of things on. Oh, I'd break my neck on that.
Walking on a tightrope, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tightrope that's not tied, yeah.
Slack.
It's slack, that's why it's called a slack line. I was standing there for a few minutes in the sun, it really was quite warm. Oh, and there is actually a beach bar open over there. We have actually sat there and watched the sun go down, haven't we? I think it was really quite pretty. Somebody was asking, what can you do in Santa Ponsa on the beach, and somebody said, just sit and watch the sun go down. Sit in the bar, watch the sun go down. That's why you're here, isn't it? To relax. So slowly but surely, it's all coming to life. There is their tourist information office if you need a few tips on what to do and where to go. shops here or stay on this side?
More shops over there.
Oh, you're just looking for shops. There aren't many shops open, are there?
It's really nice when people stop to speak to us, isn't it?
Yeah, we do really enjoy it when people stop and have a chat and we find out where they're from. This little cafe. Yesterday I had a little walk around in Magaluf, and on 2 occasions the Apple car went past me. They were doing Apple Maps and taking photographs as they go along, a bit like Google Maps do, Google Street View. This must be the Apple equivalent to Apple Street View. So I'm guessing I'm going to appear on that twice, so I'll just look out for that. See. So just a warning that even though that forested area is behind the beach, it's a no picnic area. A shame really, because it's actually quite a nice spot where you probably want to go and have a picnic. A few more bars and restaurants up there. Just go around this way. Are we having a coffee?
Yes, be nice.
There we go.
We're going out for a meal tonight, so.
Well, we've stopped off at a coffee, off at a cafe for a coffee, and that concludes our little walk in Santa Ponsa. We've got to go back now to Majorca, do a spot of shopping, and then we're on our way home because we're out tonight, so I need a siesta. So cheers everyone, thanks very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.
Cheers.
Bye for now.